Who is this?
What's going on, mate?
Got to get it where you can get it, no matter what it is.
You guys are wrong. Y'all are just wrong. I just laughed. You're wrong. You're wrong.
That's right, boys and girls. Early for court, but that's all right. All rise, have a seat, do whatever you need to. We had some protection order stuff come up. It's live. If we don't watch it right now live, it'll be gone. So there will be limited interruptions and it could end at any time. Just a disclaimer. That's what they call a disclaimer, right? Right. So let's go ahead and jump into this protective order stuff. I'll say hello to everybody. Glad to see you here. Make sure you like the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to our case only channel. We got a case right there on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's jump into it.
To renew the protection order that initially was entered back on the 14th of February of last year. Ms. Irvin, I've reviewed your paperwork, but briefly describe why you believe you need the order renewed.
Sure. Just to give you some background, Your Honor, this person is a stranger to me when this order initially went into place. I had never even met them before. This is my husband's ex. They have a child together, and that's the only way I'm related to it. The way she found out about me is by running my license plate when my husband took my car to pick up his child. I wasn't present, and then doing background checks on me. So that's how we got connected. So I personally don't want to be involved. I've been kind of drug in a time or two and not been sure how to handle it, but this individual's continued, Taylor, that had me under surveillance in a variety of ways. Some ways I'm not sure completely how. So I'm just giving you the information I know my best from my perspective. What really scared me is the death threats of like, I'm going to slit this person's throat, meaning me.
Oh, wow.
And then some third-party contacts, for example, my ex, she's contacted my friends and family, including my ex-husband, to gain information about me. So it's for no other reason than that. And so I know she's allowed to kind of contact whomever, but that scares me. So I would like to just be able to be married to my husband and not have backlash for that, because that appears to be the only reason why I'm sitting here.
What if her husband?
So I followed the instructions of a few police officers to ask her to stop after the order was put in place. I don't have any background knowledge of how to handle an anti-harassment order because this is my first time being in court for something like this. So there had been a few violations and they had told me to send her a text and ask her to stop. And then it got like kind of a bait and switch type situation where she was then accusing me of harassing her, and definitely don't want to do that. So met this individual twice at a drop-off exchange, and the last time I went, they were threatening to slit my throat, so I decided to never go again because I just don't. The judge in the other order said it was fine for me to go pick up my stepson, but I just decided that it would be better for me to not go because I don't want him to have to watch anything like that. So I haven't been at those drop-offs since, but it's continued to happen through contacting people I know, threatening to pull my teaching license. I'm a kindergarten teacher, which is like my passion and how I support my family. So I don't know why that would be relevant to anything going on in her personal life, but I just kind of want to stop being attacked because this was a stranger to me, and now this is so in my life. And I understand that when someone shares a child together, there's a lot of emotions involved, but I just don't feel like I should be in it. My husband has communication with her via a parenting app, and they have their own saying. I don't even know all the details because
so
I've chosen to kind of remove myself from it as best as I can. So what I'm asking for is an extension because of the behavior. I was hoping after this year that it would simmer and we could just let it go. But then there's like this flip flop where she's trying to take me to court to get an anti-harassment against me because I asked her to stop harassing me. And accusing me of things that I'm not even aware of really what is she's trying to say I haven't done. All I know is that death threats is a problem for me. I work with children. These are other people's children, and I have my own children. And this person has access to my address because they have a child, and that's completely understandable. But I need protection for that because they just, for some reason, haven't been able to just leave me alone. If I was able to go to family court and get a protection order that way, I would. But because I'm like, literally, this is a stranger to me, this is the best route for me to go. So I'm just asking that there's an extension in hopes that over the next year,
it's
it can
not
hopefully
really a
simmer
stranger.
more.
Though. It's,
I
I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, I really wish it wasn't necessary, if I'm being completely honest with you, Your Honor. But unfortunately, due to the behaviors as you've read about, there's some really severe, scary behaviors that need to like kind of be in check.
Thank you.
Have you
Angela.
reported these alleged violations to law enforcement?
I have. I've reported them a number of times, but then I stopped reporting them because I was like always getting a backlash for that from her. So then I was like scared to even report them because then I'm being accused of things, then I'm being dragged to court trying to get a harassment order against me for, I guess, reporting them, or supposedly trying to contact her from these numbers that don't even belong to me. Then my ex-husband's telling me she's contacting him to get information about me. And that, that's her right to contact whoever she wants, but it directly affects my parenting relationship with my ex and my child. And we're now in court about it. So it's just, I have done that, and they are included. The police report violations are also included. The only hard part with the anti-harassment order is there's not as much the police can do as they can in a protection order. So it's kind of just like a track record for me. I went into the family court to see if I could up it to a protection order, but because of the nature of our relationship and that we really are strangers, they couldn't provide much help. And I don't have a lot of education in this sort of stuff, so it's been a little bit of a struggle for me. But I have reported
as do I,
Kay, a number of times. I've both Vancouver and Olympia, or I'm sorry, Lacey, because we don't even live in the same county. I mean, this person should not even be involved in my life, other than I was hoping for an amicable relationship because of my husband. But if that's not what they want to have, I'm fine with that. But I don't want this type of relationship, if that makes sense.
I don't think Lucas is sleeping with it anyway.
Right. When was the last time you were present at the school to pick up the child?
They pick up at the police station, and that was over a year ago, Your Honor, that I was present. I haven't been there in over a year. I only went twice, and it was because we were on vacation in the area and we had only my car. And then if I was there, I stayed back at the Target that's by the police station, even if I was there, because I didn't want to go. But I haven't been even in the city for like over a year now, just because there were so many accusations. And this is something that's, my husband and I got married in another state so that they couldn't look up our wedding license. That's how much this is like affecting our life. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
All right, thank you.
Sounds like she needs to whoop that woman's ass.
Yeah. So first of all,
that's her right there.
Interesting that the exhibit 2 that she provided in her. Anyway, just to begin with, I have no problem never contacting Amanda ever again. I have not been contacting her this last year since this order has been in place. However, were you able to see the documents that I provided in my response?
Wow.
No,
I did not expect that.
I originally asked for 2 months to be able to file a response.
No, that for obvious reasons wouldn't be granted. Okay, if you want to give me a few minutes, I'll read this.
Cool.
Just for everybody out there, it's not very helpful when we get something on the day of the hearing.
Yes, I would have liked to have submitted it earlier, but was having issues.
Okay, like I said,
am I the only one
that's
when
we get something on the day of the hearing?
Very surprised it's this lady?
Mostly I want to bring your
okay, just why don't you hold off, Ms. Ray? Let me give me a chance to read this.
Amanda. All right, so while he's reading that, we'll take a second. I had to jump into this quickly because I didn't know how long it would last. And I know I'm in a little box down here in the bottom and all this is happening, but I'm trying something a little different. So bear with me. I can't believe I was expecting like somebody completely different. Maybe I was being judgmental by Amanda's looks.
And did you provide a copy to Ms. Irvin?
I was told that she would be checking the documents and that I did not need to serve her directly.
Okay, Ms. Irvin, there is the exhibit filed today, so you
That
may
was
want to read
something,
it
huh?
as I'm reading it. It's in your electronic file.
Okay, I can do that. I guess,
She's a
I've been
female.
present for the past year with this stuff being involved, so I feel like a lot of it is, just things
Yeah, you don't
that-
have to read it. I just want to make sure you know you can read it.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
I was not expecting. Again, Robin, good to see you. I was not expecting that. That caught me off guard. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this judge, completely. We're so used to a very animated Judge Manning. This judge, not a Manning, but I'm hoping for some good cases to come through here. Hoping to really find some. Oh, skillet hot dogs and mac and cheese. That sounds good. I'm okay with that. Yeah, who's this guy that went from Taylor down here to Amanda? He really stepped his game up. G. Stephen O'Neill, good to see you. Terminator, blessed to have you here and glad to see you. Hey now, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great Monday. Today's Creed's birthday, so he's not here with us for court, but that's all right. We'll do our best to struggle through. Yeah, Lucas is super lounging. I don't know who he's here against, but I already don't like him. Just gonna say it. Just gonna say it. There should be some things we're gonna learn here in a second from all this reading he's doing, because it seems we're missing a lot of elements other than Amanda and her husband knows Taylor. I guess they I'm trying to figure out if they had a relationship perhaps, or if that's an ex-wife, whatever. She talked really fast, so it was kind of hard to grab a lot of stuff. I want to do that very soon. I want to do it now, but a lot of people, I know one or two other channels have done it, but I do have the complete case top to bottom, and I would like for us to sit and go through that together, because I think it's worth doing. I had to leave a lot earlier than I expected the other day, and I'm like super far behind. I will check the PP Who's Handsome. It's just I did too. I thought it was a guy. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was too. Baby mama. Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to assume all this. And I think it all started because there was a man involved. I mean, I'm not trying to be. I think someone said my opinion. I think I read a comment that my opinions are very middle schoolish. So this will probably be middle schoolish. Upgrade from Taylor to Amanda. I guess that's what we're thinking. And see, Carol shook too. It's one of those situations where we've got, that's some pretty serious threats if you're threatened to, basically slit someone's throat on a daily basis. Old Mikey, good to see you. It's scary though. She seems genuinely afraid of her, like she's going to get hurt. Oh, the potty animals. But it's been a crazy. You guys, I know a lot of you have talked about a couple of you mentioned the podcaster who she had taken out a restraining order. She asked put in for a PPO, not PPO, a TPO against this guy who was a truck driver, and she was like days away from going to court to try and get this protective order. And the guy comes to her house, kills her husband and her, and then himself. So a lot of people, will say, "Oh, these cases are insignificant." Far from it. Some of these are needed, and a piece of paper is going to keep somebody away, but at least it gives you a chance to, maybe be able to protect yourself or make everybody aware what's going on. Yes, this Creed's off. You might want to. I wish I could get some local North Carolina stuff. That would be awesome. It must be a book we're reading over here. I don't know what she wrote, but it must be one hell of a read. Or either the judges just really read slow. I'm not sure which one. Cassandra's the husband. That would be great.
All right, I've read the 3-page statement. Anything else, Ms. Ray?
Yeah, so I'd like to draw your attention specifically to the screenshots of messages that she has sent me over the last year.
Oh, screenshot,
She
baby.
has emailed me, she has texted me, she has called me, she's tagged me in social media, she
Yes.
has gotten in my face at child handoff. Overall, I don't know why she's smirking about that, but overall, she has been contacting me. I've asked her to stop through my ex, who she claims is her husband, but in his declaration says that they broke up. She's providing false statements. I have text messages in my documents from her ex-husband saying that she altered his documents that she submitted in court, and she lied. Also multiple documents. She created fake email accounts pretending to be him, saying that I was threatening her. And there's text messages of him denying that that's his email address or that he ever wrote that email. And she provided an altered declaration to the court where he has written in his text messages that he did not write that declaration and she altered it. I, again, don't want anything to do with her. I don't see why she has to be involved in my life. She has nothing to do with my son other than my son stays with his father who lives with her 4 days a month. I don't care if we never contact each other again. What I care about is that she's used this order to harass me. She said in her screenshots that I provided that she is not the restrained party, and therefore she's going to keep contacting me if she likes, because she can. And overall, I'm just tired of being threatened with this. She has also claimed that I'm stalking her, that my car drove by her house, but she didn't provide a license plate or a picture of me. Red Subarus are a very common vehicle. I have proof that I was not there. This is just unnecessary. I would love to never talk to her again, but I don't think a 5-year protection order with no proof of needing one is necessary.
All right, thank you. Ms. Irvin,
very true,
anything
Lab.
else you want to say?
Like I stated in the beginning, there was text messages of me contacting her, which is instructed by the police for me to do. I think it was 2 times. I don't know what she's referring to with the rest of the things that she stated. As far as her car being outside my house, she's correct. I don't have a license plate. All I have is the screenshot. And if that wasn't her, then great. I'm grateful for that. But my biggest concern is the death threats and those comments that happened literally, within a month or 2 after the harassment order was put in place. If there could be no harassment order and we could, this could be not an issue, I would love that. But as she stated, she's contacted my ex-husband a number of times, which is completely unnecessary. And as far as falsifying statements, that's just not something I would do. That's not my character. But of course, you're just getting to know me here in these few brief moments. But that's just not something I would do. And I have a signed declaration page from the person who provided that statement to me. So I don't know what she means with text messages and whatnot, but I've chosen not to review the paperwork because if I'm completely transparent with you, Your Honor, it really makes me emotional, and I'm just going to go off the facts as best as I can, which I can only speak to what I've experienced over the year and what I've been a part of. But so I'm going to stick to that.
All right, thank you.
Lucas is it's really weird. All these other people have cases too, so they're all just sitting here languishing in the same fun we are. So, who do you guys believe? Amanda up here, or do you believe Taylor? I seem to think they're both a little on the crazy side, but I'm gonna say Taylor's just a little more crazy, allegedly. Yes, Cassandra's she's ready to party. When I say party, I mean go on Twitch and party. Twitch party. I like sitting here trying to figure out who else is against who. Obviously, Amber, Lucas, another one of those gigolo cases from earlier. Don't push floss on patience. I'm a flosser. I can't help it. I have to. She looks really young. Yeah, she does. Amanda, not so young, but still young, younger than me. This judge goes at his own pace, kids. So we're going to be here just languishing like these people. Lucas the man whore. Maybe. Just maybe. Yeah, they all got that touch of crazy. And some people love drama. They just love it. I'm not one of them, but some people just I like hearing about other people's drama. 100%. Starting drama? Not me, babe. Not this one. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I went to the hockey game with B Shop. So it was a good time. We got to see somebody pass out in the parking lot and a fight start in the parking lot. So that was definitely a highlight. Why is the judge taking so long? Why?
All right, having reviewed the evidence and listening to the parties, I
maybe.
will grant the petitioner's request to renew the protection order for a period of 1 year
Oh, she ain't happy.
under the same terms that the initial order was entered. I will indicate that Ms. Rabe has testified to a significant concern that Ms. Irvin has contacted her, alleging that she's not subject to the no contact order and thus can. I'm not convinced that that has happened, but nonetheless, Ms. Irvin, you are advised to have no contact with Ms. Rabe.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you both. You'll receive copies of the order.
Definitely not happy about that at all. Who's handsome? Thank you so much for your PP generosity. Let's jump to the next person. Who's it going to be? T, where you at? What do you think of Cassandra? Always got to put that allegedly in there these days, or you're
May
going
I
to
be
get
dismissed,
sued.
Your Honor? Is that okay?
Yes, you may.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
You can beat cheeks on out of here. Do us a favor if you haven't already. Like the video. Many thanks. It's absolutely free and it helps us so very much. Again, here we are with these lulls with the he needs to learn to speed read. Judge Manning can read so fast. Yeah, Hurricanes. It was a Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Vegas Golden Knights, which is my team. And we won 4-0. It was so good. Well, need to take a look because it's in a book. It's reading rainbow. You know what else is cool? This right here. You have made the best decision of your life to become a member, and anyone else would like to become a member. It's only $3 to start. And that's it, $3. And if you don't feel like buying one, but maybe you're interested in getting one, make sure you turn on gifts so that next time somebody decides to be super generous and buy a bunch of memberships, maybe you'll be selected by YouTube to receive one of those memberships. Welcome to the fam. Glad to have you here. Hola. Great way to make an entrance, by the way. Just becoming a member and then saying hello. Kind of baller, not going to lie. What are we waiting on, Judge? Come on. I appreciate that. A lot of people don't understand what we're doing around here, and that's okay. Teach their own. I'm not a lawyer. Creed's definitely not a lawyer. But we enjoy spending time with you guys. If it's with a court case, if it's with a car chase, we do so many different things. And that's why we split up the channels too, where we got a
Ms.
case.
Montgomery and Mr. Riedler.
All right.
Activate
So
your audios, please.
Roxanne and Lucas about to do
Both of you
battle.
raise your right hands. Do you swear the testimony in this case will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Swear.
Cassandra T.
All right, Ms. Montgomery, how do you know Mr. Riedler?
Mr. Riedler was a former neighbor of mine. We used to share a wall in a duplex.
What?
All
What?
right. I have read the materials that you've filed, so just go ahead and summarize for the record the basis of your request for a protection order, please.
Yes. Mr. Riedler has been our neighbor for a long time. He was evicted back in 2020. He has a long history of mental illness, which we're very sympathetic for. But this time around, he has suddenly come back into the picture, starting to drive by our house very frequently at all hours of the day or night. And then we were made aware of some threatening text messages he sent to another neighbor and friend of ours, who is the next person on the docket, I believe, for this case. We both have a very similar case. He threatened not only my husband, but myself and our children, and is talking about finding good places for them. We're not really 100% sure what he exactly is thinking, but you can see in the evidence that I provided that some of his statements are a little off kilter, and we're very alarmed and concerned for the safety of ourselves as well as our children, based on the fact that he's been driving by quite frequently, sending these text messages, posting things on Facebook,
maybe
threatening things on Facebook, and then driving by our house. I also did provide an email from a teacher at one of my children's schools saying that he was spotted on school grounds at the end of January and asked to leave. And we found this out after we had submitted the temporary protection order to the school, along with a picture of Mr. Riedler, just so they knew who to look out for, since the temporary protection order covered our children as well. I did reach out to Mr. Riedler shortly before filing the initial petition and asked him to stop coming around, because and letting him know that his behavior was unsafe. And his response essentially was that he was going to continue to do whatever he liked, and he drove by my house again. We're just very alarmed by this escalation in events. I did provide 34 pages of prior history from 2018 to 2020 at the submission of the petition, just text messages of us trying to manage the situation when his mental health has gone into decline. We're very sympathetic with the fact that he has mental health struggles, but we cannot continue to live in constant fear of what his mental health status is like. And the threat to our children is just very, very upsetting. So
Right, thank you.
I believe her already.
Ms. Steensrud, if you'll activate your audio, please.
I'm here.
Swear the testimony in your case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but
She's
the truth.
involved in this
I swear.
case.
All right, Ms. Montgomery's indicated you received messages from Mr., is it Reidler or Riedler?
Wow.
Mr. Reidler? Is it Reidler or Riedler?
Riedler, thank you.
Riedler, thank you, Fred
You
Franklin.
received messages from Mr. Riedler threatening Ms. Montgomery, is that accurate?
Correct. So the text messages, I received text message from Lucas earlier, a couple months ago that was a pretty normal text message, that he was asking about, just some advice about a dog that died, and he was worried that there was some suspicious activity, and if I had any advice, and I advised him to contact the police if he was concerned about that, and he said yeah, and it was a pretty normal exchange. During that exchange, he let me know that my neighbor's light was really bright at night, that it was either pitch black or really bright, and it was creepy, and I advised, like, that's fine, my neighbors can do as they like. He said that's fine, and it was pretty normal. I didn't think anything of it until, and I didn't really talk to anybody about it until I received a message from Lucas's ex-wife stating that Luke was unwell again, and I knew what that meant, and that meant that it was a little bit unpredictable what was going on. She said that it escalated to the point where she put in a protection order. So I knew it was serious. And at that point, I think a couple weeks later, I received a message from Lucas about something about being poisoned, people poisoning, for like advising me to watch out for his ex-wife to poison me, to silence people. I didn't respond because I didn't have a response to that. And then I received a text message. The threatening one was on a Sunday morning. I woke up to a message sent to me at about 12:15 at night, stating that essentially said he will find a good place for my son. He talked about mourning Roxanne. Although he didn't know her name, he said he was really disappointed in me. He was sorry for my son, but he would make sure that my son went to a good place. So I took that as a direct threat.
Yeah.
I contacted the police. Orphans. The police advised me to not respond to those text messages, and they actually advised me to get a protection order right away. I held off for a little bit and ended up putting in one later. But yeah, so I guess that's the text message Roxanne was referring to. I later received text messages sending me song lyrics from songs about killing people. I took that as a direct threat and antagonistic thing.
What songs are
Night of the
those?
Chainsaw by Insane Clown Posse, and it was sent to me on a morning.
Lucas
and it was
is an ICP
directly
fan.
followed by the words, make sure you take out the trash before the raid comes. I don't know what that means or what that's a reference to, but right after getting songs about, killing people in the midst of this, I'm worried. And my son is special needs and pretty vulnerable, so I'm just trying to be hyper vigilant to make sure that we just stay out of whatever's going on.
Thank you.
Woo.
And Ms. Montgomery, did you have anything else?
Super crazy, guys.
Yes. I just wanted to add that in the text message
scary as hell,
that
too.
Cassie referred to, where he threatened Nils and her, he mentioned all 3 children, and I have 2 children.
Chief.
So that is where, along with the line about mourning me and asking for my name, that's where we started to take this very seriously. And that's where we were making note of the times that he was driving by our house and how it correlated to his social media posts, which I provided in all of the exhibits. So we're just alarmed, very alarmed at the escalation, and we would just want to be left alone and want our children to be safe.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Riedler does not live in the neighborhood any longer, is that correct?
That's correct. He was evicted in 2020, and we hadn't seen him honestly since his eviction date until just in February when this started up again. And it was just really shocking and surprising that it kind of came out of nowhere and just escalated so quickly.
All right, thank you. Mr. Riedler, go ahead.
Are you talking about the screen or me?
I don't know. They're conflating, like my car and my phone were stolen yesterday, so I don't have any of the records in front of me, so this is all from memory. But I sent the one text message to Cassie where I had just felt like she had been involved with like ecstasy and other drugs, and things had I felt like things had just like started spiraling, and I was trying to be comforting to let her know that if she was arrested or something, that I would call people like Stephanie Lane, or help like keep tabs on the system to make sure that if Nils got placed in a home, it was like a good one and not an abusive one, because
Gotcha.
I know that plus I worked for an agency where I helped take care of autistic men, and so
He does?
I was going to contact them, and so that was the thought process
Oh,
behind
man.
that. It was not in any way a threat. I was just trying to let her know that even if she was in a bad place, like I had some contacts that I knew, and I would go out of my way to try and make sure that no matter what happened, that Nils would be put in a place where or Nils
even see
would
that
end up in a place where it would be the best possible situation under the circumstances. So all the stuff they said, like they're really like bending the boundaries with this one text message, like saying things that, and then like some of these text messages I don't even remember them like sending or anything, and I think they're like conflating things I posted on Facebook that they're taking like I posted it at them when I didn't. It was just like a public post on my public Facebook that like didn't mention them in any way, shape, or form. Wasn't like I didn't tag them. I didn't nothing.
Cassandra's very
Also,
upset if
how
y'all don't
do they
notice.
know I was driving around the neighborhood at all hours, day and night? Like, were they just sitting in front of their window, like staring out the window, like watching for me to drive by? Like, how do they know how much I was driving by? Because I didn't. I suffered a lot of abuse at the hands of Sophia Rickner and Mandy Himmel when I lived in the house that's right next to Cassie's, and it drove me to the point where I was starting to have a psychotic break, and that's when the whole incident happened in 2020, and basically I just I tried to let everybody know that I was in a lot of trouble, but sometimes I can't say things that I need to say, outside of the proper environment, and so I did the best I could, and then I tried to remove myself from the situation, and then I got a phone call from CPS regarding my daughter. When they say like things started up again, like this is what happened. Like I got a phone call from CPS about my daughter, that her mom was under investigation for negligence, and that she had been put into a hospital for self-harm. And I
Oh,
started having flashbacks to some of the major abuses that I had suffered, and driving around the neighborhood was something that helped me like put into context what had happened. It helped me deal with the kind of the PTSD that came with it. It wasn't meant in any way to be threatening against anyone. It was just sort of a way for me to help like deal with some of the mental and psychological scars that I had dealt with. And lastly, I think some of those Facebook posts that they're referring to were private. Like, I'm pretty sure that some of those things that they said that I said on Facebook were stuff that I made private, since I just used my Facebook as kind of a like a diary. I would just make some of the entries private so that I was the only one that could see them. So I don't know even why they're bringing any of that up. Like, this all seems very, very strange to me.
Why would you post things on Facebook that only you could see?
All right, so you
Granted.
indicate you have been driving by, but you say you're doing it for your own purposes so that you can deal with some past trauma. Am I accurate in understanding that?
Yes, Your Honor. And nobody told me they didn't want me to do it. Like, it was never a conversation. So now that I know that it's making them uncomfortable, I'm more than willing. I haven't done it since I got served, and I will continue to not do it if it's making them uncomfortable. That's fine.
All right. Well, I mean, it clearly is, because they both have filed protection order requests and they're here in court today. So it clearly is making them uncomfortable. I assume you can acknowledge in hindsight, looking at comments, that you could take care and make sure their children end up in good places. Could be perceived as a threat.
100%.
You may have,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
indicated you intended it for good purpose, but you could also understand how somebody could take that as a threat, right?
I mean, I don't know. I tried to be very careful in my wording as to make it not threatening. Like, neither of them have brought like the actual word of the message. But I guess if you're feeling panicked, or you're, like, if you're in a situation
Thank you. I see.
where you're looking for threats, like, almost anything can be threatening.
All right, fair enough. Thank you.
Don't look at it. No one's supposed to read what I put on Facebook. Right, Mikey? I mean, is there no way this doesn't get granted? I don't know. I mean, Cassandra's face the whole time he was talking was absolute fear. She was so afraid. You could see her chin quivering, and just her body language was just expressing that this guy is dangerous and scary. Yeah, he's absolutely scary. And to hear that he's working with, these men's groups and stuff, I hope that's not true. I really hope that's not true. I don't like that they don't show evidence in this court, by the way. Like, the evidence submitted to the court, we don't get to see it. I don't like that. But maybe that's something they took care of beforehand. I don't know. Make sure you give us a like on this video. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, he's making a lot of excuses. He likes to drive around because it helps him deal with all of his issues. It's not like he had a run-in with a neighbor, too. But for him to be telling them, make arrangements for your kids Not just yeah, he kind of had an excuse with the Cassandra, but not with Roxanne. And he's making all these accusations. Thank you, Power Stroke. He's scary, for sure. Again, this judge takes his time. He really takes his time. It seemed like his defense was they're confused. They don't they're reading into everything. They're just worried about me driving past their houses, even though I don't live over there anymore. They're just upset about Facebook posts I've made, talking about how the kids need to be taken care of. I heard that too. Somebody is a breather. Let's see what happens. I mean, we've been wrong before and things haven't got granted, but I feel pretty confident this one could do it. Yeah. He does not need to be working with a men's group. He needs to be going to one for help. Because it seems like he's having some sort of real crazy break. A friendly reminder. Yeah, absolutely. And we have a case-only channel on YouTube. It's called We Got a Case. We'd appreciate if you took a second, subscribed over there. You'll see nothing over there but court stuff, just in case you're watching on Creedence and Bishop Show. We do a lot of different things over here. But over there, that's all you'll see. Just the court stuff. And as soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers there'll be a lot of exclusive things that will only be there. So we appreciate you guys. Look, he's doing something with his finger. What's he doing? Oh, that's creepy. That's so creepy. I don't know what's creepier, sitting here now waiting for the verdict or having to listen to him talk. Oh, he's typing. Is he in the chat? What is he doing? He's putting up a manifesto right now as we speak. Loud typing. Another sign of mental illness. His breathing can be quite threatening. Good to see you, RLS. If this was Judge Manning's courtroom, she'd have told this guy to sit up. I'll be laying down in court. See, I'm not so.
With the birds I shed, it's a lonely view.
Want to
With
mute
birds I
yourself while you're singing there,
shed,
Mr.
it's a
Riedler?
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. When blood is shed, it's a lonely view. Either the guy's a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, or I take that as a threat. That's a threat, right? This it plays right into what they just said, that he was sending them song lyrics that had to do with killing and things. Wow. Good to see you, Mary. Wow, wow, wow. Hit us with another rendition, my friend. Hit us with another one. No finger wagging in here. Wow, that was creepy crazy. He's got excellent posture. He's putting up another vague post. Wow, that was creepy. Is that not a threat? I mean, are we to believe it's not? Has anybody found his Facebook yet? Because I bet it's something. He's going to hit us with another tune, perhaps.
All right, I have granted both Ms. Montgomery's and Ms. Steensrud's request for protection orders. Mr. Riedler, you're not to go within 1,000 feet of their residences or the residents or the schools of the minors. You're to have no contact with Ms. Steensrud, with Ms. Montgomery or their children. For the two of you, this order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. If you want it renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed. Since Mr. Riedler appeared today, there is no need for official service. Copies of the orders will be provided to the parties. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
Wow.
Thank you.
This guy's super scary. Mental illness, whatever's going on with him, he is beyond frightening. I hope those ladies have pew-pews at their house because they're going to need them. Especially him showing up at children's schools, driving past their houses all the time. I know, Chris, he does have a beautiful singing voice. I know that blew me away too, how excellent it was. I know, like, how did the judge not? I mean, if he hadn't got it, that got it for sure. Keep an eye out for that guy's name in the news because that's over the top. That's way over the top. That's I don't know what to say about that guy. He's probably
Chris
one of the
Walter, Grace
craziest
Campbell.
ones we've seen.
Just Grace.
Oh, somebody live in court.
And Ms. Gamble, if you'd stand and raise your right hand, and Ms. Salter, raise your right hand, please. Salter, you need to activate your audio and raise your right hand.
Yeah, he is. Good to see you, Ragu Monkey.
She's frozen. Okay, there we go. Ms. Salter, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you'd stand.
Officer
Both
Port Shop
of you
reporting
raise
for
your right
duty.
hands for me, please. Swear that testimony in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You're fine.
Ms. Salter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You may be seated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Ms. Salter, tell me why you need this protection order.
Well, it started out where out of the blue, she started sending me emojis that were little knives and coffins and urns and stuff like that with no explanation. Then my neighbor showed me that she had sent these just raging texts saying how she's going to skin me alive and how let's see, I will have to shoot her to stop her from beating me up. And so at that point I was very concerned. Then I went and I got a protection order.
Wow.
She had been turning off the breakers and stuff at the house over and over. And then she locked the guys that were working on a floor. They had to go outside to make the cuts for the floor. She would lock them out. So they got irritated and they left. So after a lot of these kind of, problems, I decided I wasn't safe because she is the girlfriend of my roommate. And so I went and I got a protection order. Since then, he started sending me threats saying he's going to destroy me and everything I own until there's nothing left. And so then I went and got an order against him. And while I was there getting the order, I find out that he had tried to get an order on me the day before and it was denied. And he had included Grace when he was saying us.
A lot.
And he, in his statement, he has these outrageous lies. Nothing in the statement is true. And he included her in that. So I want to bring that up. And I have a case number if you need that.
Let's just stick to the one between you and Miss Gamble.
Well, so I took those threats and those outrageous things he's saying about me as a danger to me, and he's including her. Then she dialed me on March 8th.
It's rain hitting her
And
car.
I contacted the sheriff's office, and Deputy Leishman went out and talked to her, and she had been in there deleting her threatening messages and accidentally dialed me. So I definitely feel that I am in danger and I need a protection order.
And what's your sense of why she was threatening you?
She's saying that I'm sleeping with her boyfriend, which I would never do. There's no anything like that going on. But she does have a lot of that kind of stuff I've noticed.
All right. Just not going to participate here. All right.
Okay, my didn't come back that I had for her. They weren't back already, so that's why I was going to ask.
You will tell me what the records are. What do you?
They were
I'm not a big fan of when everybody's here setting another hearing. So I would rather get it done today. So unless you tell me there's really something that you can't tell me about,
it's really
so tell me about it then.
And
No, I don't want you to say the words. Okay, how about you move all the way to the back? Thank you.
Damn. Shut them down, son.
Change of venue because I actually do live with her, and she said that I didn't live with her.
Okay, so that won't affect the venue. Venue is here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's what change of venue means. Which court is going to be heard in? So this is the appropriate court.
Okay.
So tell me what it is you don't have today that you want to have for a hearing.
The messages that I have of her sending me that if I don't pay her $400 cash, that she was going to go do anything to get me out of the house. And whatever that she said, whatever it takes to get me out of the house. She said, just wait and see. And I have text messages of those. And she said that she was going to go. She didn't say she was going to get a protection order on me. She said that if I didn't pay her the rent, that she was going to go do whatever she had to do in order to get me out of the house. She said, we'll see. And I actually have those messages on my messenger that I would like to print out.
Okay, so let's just hypothetically for a moment.
I'm guessing that guy was her
Believe that I'm looking
boyfriend.
at those and I see them. Okay, now tell me about the things you sent her. Your responses.
My response, I didn't respond to any of that. I didn't.
Okay, she said you were sending a bunch of texts with all kinds of dark emojis. So no, you're not going to say a word. You can sit there quietly. Next step will be outside.
I didn't mean to send her that, and I didn't send her any threatening messages about my boyfriend or anything like that.
What did you send her?
I didn't mean to send her anything. And when I accidentally called her recently, it was on accident because I was screenshotting the messages that I was going to bring to court. And I accidentally butt dialed her and immediately hung up. And I told the officer.
So tell me about, she said that she was getting text messages from you with all these emojis. So, and before you answer that question, let me clarify. Ms. Salzer, were these all in one emoji? I mean, one text? Were they numerous texts? You tell me. Ms. Salzer?
Yes.
Okay, can you hear?
Yes, I can kind of hear. I'm having trouble.
Okay, so you need to pay attention here. Ms. Gamble said that she didn't send you texts and that all she did was accidentally call you. So you said that she sent you texts with emojis. Did she send you one with a bunch of emojis? Did she send you numerous texts? Tell me about that.
Yes, this started happening probably in January or February, and just continued. And then when I went in and seen that she had called me, I can see that she went in and unsent the messages that she had, done with emojis.
Okay,
So
how many?
it
Give
just says
me some
unsent
idea.
messages by Grace Gamble.
Right. Give me some idea. How many did she
So
send you?
then I didn't even know you could do that.
Okay, Ms. Salter,
There
give
was
me some
three
idea.
different. There was three different groups of them, and you're talking like 20 of them with knives and little coffins, and and I didn't even know what it was about. And then I got another group of them, and then that's when my neighbor brought me over the ones where it says I'm gonna have to shoot her to stop her, and she's gonna skin me alive.
Okay, and Ms. Gamble's maintaining that this
You don't hear
was
skinning
done in
alive
response to
that
you
often these
telling
days.
her that she needed to pay her
throwback.
rent and you were going to get it from her one way or another.
No, this is all about her accusing me of sleeping with her boyfriend, who that would never happen.
All right, so Ms. Salter says it was numerous texts that you had made an allegation.
And she told me that she has post-traumatic stress, which I took that into.
Ms. Salter, hold off. You're going to have to pay attention to the rhythm of the hearing here. So I only want you to weigh in when I ask you to say something.
And the guy in the back don't say anything. He got to be quiet.
Ms. Salter, you seem to be in a place where there's not very good connection. Is that what's going on here? Yep. Lost. Is that
You're
what's
back.
going on?
Yes, I'm having bad reception all of a sudden here.
Okay.
Diana's got her
It seems
Okay.
to be fine now.
bit on.
Okay, so you only need to respond if I ask you a question. Otherwise, you can just sit and listen. Can you hear what's going on in the courtroom?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Gamble. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, I didn't send her emojis like saying coffins or whatever, anything like that. And it was an accident. What I accidentally sent was like just a few emojis, and it was on accident, just like I accidentally called her and I didn't mean to, because I was trying to take screenshots of the messages. And because the officer that I spoke to told me that I should take screenshots of the messages. So
Okay, but let's move past that. How did you accidentally send her a number of texts with emojis?
It wasn't a bunch. It was just.
She said it was about 20.
No, it was once or twice.
Okay, so on those once or twice occasions, you accidentally sent her emojis of coffins and skulls?
There wasn't. I think there was like a butterfly in there or something else. It was on accident that I did that.
There was a pile of poop,
It was
butterfly,
not on purpose.
So
coffin, a headstone.
Tell me what you were texting her about.
A
I
headless
wasn't even
body.
trying to text her. I was trying to take screenshots
Of what?
of the messages between her and I.
Okay, so when you sent her messages, what did the messages to Ms. Salter say?
I actually never even sent her any messages, so I don't even know what she's talking about. They were on accident, the emojis I sent, because I was taking screenshots for court. And that was on accident that I accidentally called her, because I immediately hung up the phone and I spoke to the officer about that.
How
But
do
I
you?
do have, what I wanted to have the continuance
what?
about was because I have the messages of her telling me that she's gonna get, if I don't pay her the $400, which was never talked about, that she just decided she was gonna charge me $400. That if I didn't pay her that, she was gonna take me to court or do whatever she had to do in order to get me out of the house.
Okay,
Legally get
all
a
right, like I
protection order.
said, hypothetically, I believe that that's what happened. Okay, now my question to you is, Ms. Salter said this case wasn't filed till the end of February. She said in February, she was receiving text messages from you with these emojis. So you tell me.
Uh-oh.
Did not send her any text messages with emojis on purpose. It was on accident, and there was 2 of them, not 20 of them.
Okay, and how did they end up with
Went from 1 to 2
things
now.
like casket and skulls and
I have no idea. I don't know how, I have no idea how that happened. I was on my phone and I was literally I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I didn't mean to send her any emojis at all. That's the only 2 messages that was ever sent to her. I
Were
never
you-
sent her anything else.
Were you mad at her that she had said you owe rent?
No, I wasn't upset with her. I didn't say anything. I just said, okay, because I knew what she was gonna do. I knew she was gonna go get a protection order on me because prior to this,
Mhm.
she doesn't live in that house.
Mhm.
Someone else who actually lived in the house and she was living there with a person. She went and got a protection order on her, so that person would get kicked out of the house prior to that. So this is what she's trying to do to me now.
Okay.
Let's ask her about the skinning you alive comment. Can we get to that? I know we got the emojis. I'm sure she sent those. You know, who doesn't accidentally send
And
somebody emojis
did
these
you
days?
have a conversation or send a message to a neighbor saying
No,
that Ms. Salter was trying to get you out of the house?
no, I did not.
Okay. All right, Ms. Salter, Ms. Gamble essentially has said you fabricated all of this and that she never did send you any messages.
I have the messages. I just didn't submit them to the court.
Why not?
So when did the messages start?
I screenshotted them. Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't think you submitted them. I don't have any exhibits from you.
No, I didn't submit them.
Okay.
I guess
when did
I
they,
can submit them because I've screenshotted them.
when did they start? Just look at
They
them.
started in like January or early February.
And what did you think?
Like
the
20
subject
little
matter was?
emojis.
What did you think the subject matter was?
I asked her, and that's when the neighbor, she didn't respond to me, and that's when the neighbor came and showed me where she's just saying, I can't, I know that she's sleeping with my Joey, and I'm going to skin her alive, and that's when I started feeling like I wasn't safe.
Okay. And this was in response to you seeking rent money from her or what?
Diane is one of my favorite new
No,
characters, by the
no,
way.
I told her that if she was going to stay at the house all the time, that she was going, if she's gonna have to pay rent, she can't just stay there for free. She would be there and she's leaving messes, and she does drugs with needles and she leaves them everywhere.
Whoa!
Okay.
She's a real mess.
All right. So
Unexpected.
were the text messages only emojis? Was there some narrative there? Was she
No,
expressing?
just a bunch of emojis, like 20 of them.
Like that.
And did she ever? Okay, so she said something
Thank
to
you.
your neighbor about wanting to get you. Did she ever say anything directly to you?
Yeah, she's threatened me many times to my face.
What did
And
she
it's
say?
never been, she has always just accused me of sleeping with her boyfriend. And I understand that because
Ew.
her boyfriend has done those things, and I get it, and she's told me she has post-traumatic stress. So I have been really, trying to be understanding, but there comes a point where I start thinking that I can be in danger if she's believing these things, and she's, turning off our breakers so we don't have power. And there's just a lot of things that made me feel where I wasn't safe in my own home.
Okay. And what makes you think that she's the one who turned off the breakers?
I seen her do it.
Okay. Ms. Campbell.
I've never turned off the breakers. I don't
About the
even know what
needles.
you're talking about. I don't leave messes. I've actually cleaned up after her and her friends that she has over. Everything that she's saying is obviously she's just coming off the top of the head with. She's just making up. I've never threatened her. I've never turned off the electricity. I've never done any of that. This is all in reason because I didn't pay her $400 at the beginning of the month. And she doesn't own the property. Like I said, she got a protection order against the girl that actually lived there in order to get out of the house and take over the house. And then now she
Ooh.
got one on me because I won't give her money because she just told us that we could move in. So we were like, okay. And now all of a sudden she wants to charge me rent, and this is all because I won't pay her rent.
Okay. All right. Did you ever say anything to her about your thought that she was sleeping with your boyfriend?
No.
Never said anything. That
No.
was never a topic of
No.
conversation.
Never.
What about the needles? We're gonna bring those up. Georgia, I'll bring this up.
Do you still live in the house that Miss Salter
Georgia's
lives in?
two favorite.
I was living in it, but she got an order on me to get out of the house, so I'm not there. I had to leave.
She does not live there.
This one's a tough
Your
one.
Honor, they served her where she lives.
Giving us the old silent treatment, huh? Not gonna break me. No, sorry, Bob.
I'm not sure. Well, I'll let you know if I need anything from you.
So that's his cue to tell us all to be quiet. He's thinking. And while he's thinking, over 200 of you here.
All
Glad
right,
you're
Miss
here.
Salter, how do you know these messages came from Ms. Gamble?
It's over Messenger.
Yeah, that's a catching point for me. Why wouldn't you
I
just
have
turn
a
those in?
case number too, because the officer went and talked to her about how it looks to be unsending messages, deleting them. And he called me back and gave me the case number.
Okay.
And I sent a screenshot to him, and he said if he would add it to the case.
Dan looks very regal.
All right, and you spoke with an officer, Ms. Campbell?
Yes, we actually talked to him for like almost 2 hours. We actually built a rapport with the officer.
Okay, and did he say anything about deleting messages?
No, he actually didn't say anything. He asked me why I called, and he said she actually believes that you accidentally called her as well when I was screenshotting the messages. So, and it was on accident. As soon as I seen it, I hung it up immediately, and I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble, you know. And my boyfriend was like, it's okay, just calm down, it's gonna be okay. And I was freaking out because I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, and the messages you were deleting, what was on the messages?
I didn't delete any messages from
Okay, well, you just said you were deleting some things, and then you were freaking out. You accidentally called.
No, I was screenshotting some things.
Okay, what were the messages to Ms.
No, I
Salter?
was screenshotting the messages that she sent to me about the rent and everything. And then that's when I accidentally hit the call button, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude. I freaked out, but that's all he said to me.
Okay. So if Ms. Salter has said she received numerous messages from you with emojis on them.
I don't think so.
And you're telling me that that is not true, and she can't be telling the truth if she can show me on her phone messages from you that's not true? Would she
There
have
was
any?
only two. There was only two, and those were accidentally sent. 2 messages.
Okay.
Possibly, Griggsy. Possibly.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Quiet.
Judge is shutting them down. I'm pretty sure the boyfriend is in the courtroom. That's the guy we had to move all the way to the back and threaten to throw him out completely. Yeah, she didn't bring that up. Like, hey, I don't use needles. I like that she come back with, I cleaned up after her and her friends. Were they using needles too? Or is it just a huge party? I mean, Tara looks like she's a, big party animal. Definitely a huge age difference between the two roommates. I mean, of course, that's not going to work out. Yeah, Diane has just been the judge and jury for this whole thing, man. She very stoic. Old slippery fingers will get you in trouble every single time. But hitting the like button will not. We'd appreciate if you did that. If you're looking for a place where you belong and you'll be recognized, this is it. Come on in. Join us. Yeah, she's got to be next, right? I bet she's got. I have a feeling Diane is the. She's the one that's trying to get a protective order. Oh, I don't know. She might be the aggressor. You pause all you need to. Don't forget today on We Gotta Chase later on here on the Credence and Bishop Show channel, and We Gotta Chase on YouTube. We're going to be covering a lot of craziness. We had a chase in Oklahoma over the weekend we're going to check out, as well as some really outlandish news stories that just happened, as well as how many times are you going to say as well as, Mikey? I don't know. I will check the old PP. Thank you for everybody, by the way, that's been sending over PayPal for us this month. We appreciate that. Stolen car wreck in Chicago. We're going to talk about that and much, much more, as well as members
For
only.
this hearing, I'm going to take
5:30.
What Ms. Gamble told me that Ms. Salter had told her that she needed to pay $400 in rent and was going to do what she needed to have Ms. Gamble pay that. I'm going to take that as truth, so you don't need to show me any messages. So we don't need to have the continuance. We can resolve the hearing today. So I'm factoring that in as I review this. All right. So I understand that to have occurred, but I also will find, based on Ms. Salter's testimony and Ms. Gamble admitting at least part of it, that she accidentally sent Ms. Salter 2 text messages and she accidentally called her one time. So if I take the testimony of Ms. Salter and the testimony of Ms. Gamble and look at it, it occurs to me that, yeah, an accident can happen once, but 3 accidents, has me putting more credibility in the statement of Ms. Salter than in Ms. Gamble. And I just don't see that happening in that way. So I'll find that, in fact, Ms. Gamble did send inappropriate text messages to Ms. Salter. I will grant Ms. Salter's request that Ms. Gamble that Ms. Gamble have no contact with Ms. Salter, and you're not to go within 1,000 feet of the residence. Ms. Salter, this order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. If you want it renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed. And the order does not need to be served on Ms. Gamble since she is present, and we'll make Ms. Gamble a copy of the order now and give it to Ms. Gamble. And I will note for the record that I did not need to call the witness because this just comes down to the straight testimony of what was on the messages. And the witness isn't the sender of the messages. It's alleged to be Ms. Gamble. So there was no purpose for that. As I said, I took as what Ms. Gamble said about Ms. Salter's comments to her as true. So I factored that in. All right, we'll make you a copy, Ms. Gamble. We'll give you a copy. So you can just sit right there so we get that copy for you.
Oh, he shut her down quick. He didn't believe her one bit. Erica, thank you for the monies. I have nothing but love and respect for the BCG. For life, right? For life. That's how it works. Also, if you see that right there at K, right there, she has great court videos each and every day. Please check her out. She's doing the Lord's work. And sometimes I even steal her stuff and watch it here. So I'd appreciate if you check that out as well. More than enough room for everybody on the old internet. Is that what we're going with, Peeping Tom? I like that. I like that a lot. When do you think the last time Diane left the house?
You come on up and pick it up.
This judge is, he's different, man. I'll tell you, he's different. I mean, he's not exciting. The cases are great that are coming through. But I mean, I would never say, like, wow, he's a great judge. KH, I love your haircut. Love it, love it, love it.
All right, Ms. Kendall, and any family member could come on up. And
Uh-oh.
Ms. Corrad, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it seemed like that was probably best. A lot of conjecture. Thank you, Dallas Hollis.
And you're Sky. Yes.
K's doing good stuff over there. Is that
And Ms.
Diane's
Corrad-
daughter?
Corrad, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Corrad?
It's Kuro.
Kuro, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Get it right,
Ms.
Judge.
Kuro, have you reviewed the document filed on behalf of Ms. Kendall?
I didn't know that she had filed anything, but
Something was filed today. It's a treatment plan for Ms. Kendall.
no, yeah, they haven't said anything.
Okay. So it's a pretty elaborate treatment plan involving her medical caregivers and then the social workers that are working with her.
Okay.
And just to summarize, it indicates that there's been a medication adjustment, which they believe is being
What?
helpful in addressing some of the issues that were the subject of your petition. And I'll just
For
call
sure.
you Sky if you don't mind, so that
Absolutely
it's
fine.
clear who I'm speaking with. So, and is it Sky Kindle?
It is.
Okay, so Sky, that's essentially what the purpose was in submitting that document, was for me to understand.
What the situation is, and I do apologize for the lateness. I only found out about the
Yeah.
court date as of Friday night, so I tried to.
Okay. Thank you. And so, Ms. Kendall,
Yes,
good morning.
good morning.
Okay, I'm going to have you and Ms. Cora both raise your right hands and I'll swear you in. Kuro, I'm sorry. Do you swear the testimony in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Kuro.
I do.
Yep. And Ms. Kendall?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Nearly shattered her face, Gina.
And Ms.
Nate.
Kuro, the two of you are neighbors?
Yes, we share a fence.
Right, okay.
Uh-oh.
And he'd indicated that your concern was that Ms. Kendall had either taken or disturbed some yard art you had. She was throwing things onto your property, and then you found her on your property through some of your home security video. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And you had a concern that perhaps she was suffering some health issues.
Yes, I am very concerned that she has been verbally harassing me for about 10 years, but
I understand that she's not well, and I'm fine with the verbal harassment because I can just ignore it or leave. But I got really concerned when she started coming over, putting cat litter on my car, wandering through my yard when it was dark, throwing my yard items around. And I just really got really concerned about my own safety, but also about hers.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Kendall, would you like to say anything, or would you like your son to speak today?
Well, do you or?
I'll speak.
Okay, but Ms. Kendall, feel free if you
Well,
want to
I'm-
say
I'm not
something.
aware of recalling any of these incidents that have brought me to court today. I don't have any connection with her. In fact, I've had persons many times come to my property and completely engulf my property. And this has even occurred just last weekend.
Do what to the property?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor, and good morning. So, yeah, to further elaborate on the treatment plan, as you know, I am Sky Fennel, I am Jill's son, and I've also been her power of attorney as of 2020, after I started seeing the exhibits of her increased memory loss and confusion. I have the paperwork with me if you want to see it, but up to you. Again, I apologize for not submitting any of that. For the past 2 years, though, my mother has unfortunately been experiencing the effects of dementia, and has recently been officially diagnosed in October of last year with severe to moderate dementia.
Yes.
Since the diagnosis, I have been working closely with her care team. I've also increased
Thank you, Jim.
her care team with involving a lawyer to help with her finances as well, and getting everything accommodated for her living arrangements and everything. I've also been ensuring the combination of their medications are up to date and are more accurate and appropriate for what she's needing. I've also been more readily available. I live 15 minutes away. I'm coming over several times a week. I've now recently, in this time frame, which the reports were occurring, I was also getting a caregiver now finally to come in. Due to COVID, of course, it did take a little bit of time. So she now has further assistance there. And I've just, so you sort of touched on it, but I wanted to speak a little bit more to the fact that in late November, early December, when the incidences were occurring, I was seeing the increased heightened anxiety that my mom was experiencing, the paranoia that occurred.
Yeah.
That
I
is when
agree.
I took immediate action, and I got her medication altered. I also am working carefully with her neurologist, her primary care physician, as well as the caregivers, to make sure we have a good regimen while she's currently at home. Any adjustment for her medication, though, since the incidents that have occurred, I have not observed any other further incidences, but I've also actually seen a considerable improvement to her anxiety and her mood and her behaviors. Her doctors have also reported seeing the same when we do go visit, which is a typical 3-month visits or bi-monthly if needed. But I am heavily involved in her medical care with her medical care team. What I'm ultimately looking for is working towards a resolution to secure the safety for my mother's living situation, to continue to pursue that without the potential of a criminal charge against her that could potentially cause issues with that.
Okay. And two of you are still engaged, or you're married, or?
Fiance,
Okay.
we're
right.
waiting
All right.
2024.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And what do you do, Mr. Kimball, for work?
I work in Tacoma, civil engineer technician up in HBL.
Okay. Yeah, but you live down here.
I do, yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Korod, you've heard Koro. I'm sorry, I keep pronouncing it. I should understand the French version of
No
it.
big deal.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I want to get it right. So Ms. Kuro, you've heard Ms. Kendall's son speak. Do you have any comments?
I don't want to get her in trouble with the law either. I just don't
Yeah.
want her coming over onto my property. Like I said, I'm fine with the verbal stuff because I can leave. But when she comes over onto my property, I don't want to confront her.
Okay. All right. And so I'm going to ask here.
Which she's
Ms.
rightfully
Kuro, do you
so.
have
Rightfully so.
Mr. Kendall's Sky's phone number?
The police report had a number in it for him, but I wasn't sure how much contact he'd want to have from me, so I didn't contact him directly. I didn't know that he had some power of attorney over her until after I got the police reports. But I'm more than happy to be in contact with Sky. I used to know him when he was quite young.
Okay. Well, look what he
Bet
turned
you did.
into. He's an engineer now.
Yes, I'm very proud of the young man. Yes.
Okay. So one, I appreciate
At least
Mr.
Diane's
Kendall
not being
coming in on
irrational
behalf
about
of
it.
his
That's
mother.
good.
This is a difficult situation for families. I am well aware of that. Many of us go through this situation. So I really appreciate folks who are lucky enough to have a dedicated family who's willing to care for them as they process through this. So with that understanding, I was going to propose, but I think you both have just sort of laid it out there, that rather than get the courts involved here and law enforcement, that we try to do this on more of a familial level. And Ms. Carreau, I'm going to ask Mr. Kendall, are you fine with Ms. Carreau calling you if issues happen so you can?
24/7, I am fully available to her. if
Okay.
needed.
And Ms.
And
Carreau, are
he
you
can
comfortable
call
with
me
that?
also. I think Jill somewhere had my number because she called me and left a weird message one time. So I'm okay with him calling me also.
Weird message.
Not Jill,
Okay,
but he
would
can
you
call
like us
me.
to get you the number right now?
Oh, poor
Yes.
lady.
Okay. Ms. Carreau, would you mind giving us your cell phone number now so that Mr. Kendall can make note of that?
Sure. The number that he can call is 360-459-9555.
Don't nobody write that down.
555.
Leave that poor lady
Yes.
alone.
Beautiful. All right. I will save you and I'll text you fairly shortly. so that you have-
Actually, that is a landline number. You'll need to call it and leave a message.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would think so.
Okay, so.
She's got a
just so
cell phone. Why
everybody's
don't you give
clear,
her a
I'm gonna
cell
enter a
phone?
denial of the order at this point, just to keep it out of the legal system, and I'm gonna let Ms. Carreau.
I'm
I
willing
agree
to
with
give that a try.
Yep, and we can try that.
Yeah,
And I agree with the two of you that that's much preferable in a situation like that. You're always welcome to come back and file this if you need, if you feel like it's not working, you have no other potential resolution. But for now, I'm happy that you are willing to try it this way.
Yeah, leave that. Leave
I
that
am.
old lady
I've
alone.
been willing to work with her for 10 years. I'm willing to continue to live next door to her amicably.
All right, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one
All
of
right,
those things
Ms.
like
Carreau, thank you very much. And
it seems like it
Thank
got out
you.
of
thank you
hand
very much.
real
you.
fast.
Thank you, Your
You
Honor.
know.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Kendall.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, bye-bye. And actually, if you'll just wait a minute, I'm gonna get this signed and we'll get you a copy.
No worries.
And Ms.
All right, so I'm gonna pause that right there. Because I'm gonna wrap this up. Definitely the last case was a situation that the son should have been called. He could have handled this and not have to get here, but maybe she really didn't have a way to get up with them. Who knows? When dealing with somebody with dementia like that, they really should be either have someone coming there full time caring for her, or take her into their home, whatever you got to do. But I understand, and that is tough. And I'm not saying the lady's dangerous or anything, but she probably could come over and destroy her yard art and pour cat litter on the car and things like that because she's not in her right mind at that time. So I definitely sympathize with her and feel that was probably the most normal case we had today. All the other ones were completely insane. I've not heard so many serious death threats in one day. I mean, that was a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna get on out of here. We got a chase coming up at 4:05 Eastern time, as well as a members only at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the We Gotta Chase YouTube channel. So make sure if you want to be a part of all that, go ahead and join. I'd like to thank all you guys, a huge crowd here today. I love all the respect and love we getting from a vast majority of you guys that understand what we're trying to do here and want to be a part of it. That means a lot. That means a hell of a lot. It really does. Let me thank everybody. I've got to thank these fine folks that were nice enough to send over some of the monies, because without them, it's just as important as those likes. The likes, the subscribers, sharing out our content. Is she live? But is she doing TPOs? Or is she just... I'm guessing I would say your name like Alicia. If I say it wrong, if it's not Alicia, let me know. Flusha, Angela, Gary, Big Money, who's handsome? Alicia, until I'm corrected. Fred Franklin, Gina, Power Stroke, Amber, Flusha again, the old sweet Georgia Peach, the Funk, Kiernoth, Erica, and of course, everyone at the BCG. We love you guys. We hope to see you soon. Just doing plans. That's what I thought. We love you guys. One day I'll level up. One day. We love you guys. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Yeah. Until the next time, guys, stay safe. Stay healthy. And who loves you, baby?
Cocaine down to the ground.